Welcome to the podcast From Coffee to Cases, the show for small law firm attorneys who want to stop begging for leads and start building a business that runs on referrals and real relationships.
Hello and welcome back to From Coffee to Cases with Delisi Friday. Delisi founded First Call Friday to show lawyers that the best marketing isn't flashy, it's personal. She helps attorneys turn authentic connections into referral partners. My name is Kevin Rosenquist, and today we're diving into how your team can help make your gifting more personal, more consistent, and more effective. Delisi, welcome back.
Hi.
So last episode, we talked about gifting to create and grow referral relationships. Why should law firm owners take it a step further and empower their team to gift as well?
That is really important for a few reasons. So, number one, I'm a big believer in anytime you can empower your team to do something and encourage them so it's not all reliant on just one person. So I think of it as being efficient. Number two, when you do that, then your team is excited. They have buy in to what it is that you're doing. And I've noticed that is something that can help with a very positive work culture and environment. And then the last part is now you are encouraging your team to be thinking about ways to gift, which means they're having better conversations with your client. They're picking up on things your clients are saying. And you don't have just the marketing department do this. Sometimes
Mhm.
I feel like lawyers only think about marketing efforts as, oh, just the marketing team does it. But I'm a big believer when you can empower other people in your law firm to care about the marketing and do things like gifting, now you're allowing your marketing efforts to grow and scale and have more impact. And so that's one of the reasons why I love it. There's obviously the book Giftology by John Ruhlin that I mention all the time on this podcast. But there's another one called Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Gadara.
I like
And
the
it just
title.
goes, it goes back to being hospitable and having your clients have a really great experience. And when they have great experiences, they're going to refer business to you, they're going to remember your law firm, and empowering your team to be a part of that versus just relying on your marketing department is going to allow business owners to have much more success.
hmm Interesting point about the culture. Like it's not just about the client; it's about getting everybody on board with the same sort of outlook and mission of that hands-on, really personal service that you talk about all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If a law firm owner is listening to this and going, how does this work? How can we make this work? What advice can you share so they can think about how to do this in their own firm?
Sure. So, first, I mean, you have to start with a budget, right? We have to know how much money do we have to invest in an effort like this. So, looking at your numbers and deciding how much money you can allocate for something like this, and then deciding, do I want to allocate it based on employee per quarter or per month? What makes sense for the law firm owner? And then saying, okay, how do we track it? Because you want to be able to track all of these things. And so for some law firms, that might be saying, okay, everyone in the office has access to our case management system. So I want any employee who does a gift for a client to put a note in the case management system so we can see who did this gift, what was the gift, run a report, and find out, oh, okay, here are some examples of employees who are doing this. Here are some examples of employees who are actually not utilizing this. And then to piggyback on top of that is the reporting. You want to be able to find a way to report on this so you can measure success. So you want to know, okay, we sent out, I don't know, let's just say 200 gifts this year. And when we did that, for some reason, we had 10 more cases referred to us in 2025 or 2026. You want the data so you can try and connect the dots and realistically say, okay, this effort did pay off. Or maybe you say, you know what I noticed? We sent out more gifts to our clients. And in doing so, our Google reviews went up. And now our business has more and better Google reviews and ratings. So, making sure you have a budget, you think about how to allocate it to each employee. Maybe it's a certain amount per month or per quarter. Then deciding how are we going to measure this? Where do they put the notes? And then saying, how can I run reports and look at this data so I can make better decisions as a business owner?
Can you give us an example of how a law firm employee can do this in a day-to-day capacity?
Yeah. So a couple of examples, and it's spans different practice areas. So let's say you have a client who says, Kevin, guess what? I'm starting my new business. Maybe you have a client that says, I just bought a new home, change my address in the case management system. Maybe one of your clients says, Hey, I'm so excited. I just bought a new car. Maybe someone says, Hey, you're not going to be able to reach me next month. My wife is having a baby and we're going to be taking some time off to spend time with the baby. People get married every day. So maybe someone gets married. I mean, it's just those day to day things that if you listen for them, it's a gifting opportunity that you can train your staff to listen to, pay attention to, and then use towards gifting.
So those are upbeat, happy examples. Can you give us some examples that maybe aren't so happy, but could be even more meaningful to send a gift and extend support or condolences or in those types of situations?
Yes. So just like in life, not everything is happy. Sometimes we go through challenging times in our life, and a gift can be more meaningful in those moments. So I'll give you an example of a gift that I've done and the message that went with it that could apply to anyone. There is something called a kintsugi bowl. Um, it's a Japanese art form, and essentially it's this bowl that has been shattered, but it's put together with this gold glue paint substance. And in Japan, they believe in finding beauty in imperfection and embracing their flaws. And so the kintsugi bowl symbolizes resilience, rebirth, healing. And it's this visual reminder that even when something breaks, even when something falls apart, when you can rebuild those broken pieces, it can be beautiful, it can be stronger. And I love the kintsugi bowl because I've used that as a gifting technique in the past when there's some kind of loss or some kind of tragedy. A lot of people aren't really sure what to gift when something like that happens because it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable and it's not a positive thing. And flowers don't really do justice in a situation like that. So you can send something like a kintsugi bowl that's visual, it's practical, someone can use it in their day-to-day lives, and it's very symbolic. So I'll give you an example. I shared this on my LinkedIn. I shared the kintsugi bowl, I shared an idea for messaging. I talked about the story behind the kintsugi bowl and the meaning behind it. And I had a woman who reached out to me. She wasn't a lawyer, she's just someone who follows me on LinkedIn. And I won't share any other info about her because I want it to be discreet and anonymous. But she sent me a message and she said, Delisi, I read your post about the Kintsugi Bowl. And we recently had a tragedy in our family. Someone took their life. And my family was really devastated. We didn't really know what to do and what kind of gift or what to offer in support of our family during this time. But I remembered your Kintsugi Bowl post and we shared it. And it was so beautiful and it was just the right gift. And sometimes something like that you can use across the board. So the example I gave was the woman who had a family member who took their life. If someone lost a loved one, a parent, maybe they had a miscarriage, maybe they told you they're getting divorced after many years of marriage and they have kids and it's really emotional. Tragedy can impact anybody. And so we all have clients that are dealing with situations that aren't very pleasant and they're challenging. And if your office could think of a gift that's meaningful and supportive during one of those moments, man, people remember how you made them feel. And with
Mhm.
the right gift and the right touch point, you could make someone feel a lot better and really remember your law firm and the impact a gift like that has on them.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I mean, I know what you mean. Like you mentioned the flower thing, and a lot of people are, I don't know, sometimes down on flowers because of the waste and the way that they're produced and all that stuff, and so a lot of people don't. I'm not trying to bash anyone who likes flowers by any
Yeah.
means, but it is sort of like a thing. Like if somebody gets 10 bouquets of flowers and they're around their office, they're like, great, but they get something unique like that that has a purpose and has a message to it. It can actually maybe help them in their grieving process. Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, and we think of flowers because it's common and it's
right.
just what
It's
everyone
easy too.
does.
It's easy.
Yes, yes, and so I think when you can think of little gifts like that, and I share them here on the podcast and I put them on my LinkedIn too, but sometimes just thinking beyond the typical gift can really just be so special.
I agree. A big challenge, though, is going to be finding a way for a law firm to turn this into a simple system. I mean, it all sounds great, but obviously lawyers are busy. They got a lot going on. It's hard to do this or to put this into practice. Can you recommend, what law firms can do to capture these personal details so gifting is easier to implement, particularly at scale?
Yes, and that's so key because you have to have that system in place. Um, the book is behind me on my bookshelf, but one of my favorite books is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he's got a quote in there that says, "Goals are for people who care about winning once, and systems are for people who care about winning repeatedly." So you're right. You have to have a system in place, or this gifting idea just isn't going to happen. Someone in the law firm is going to say, "No, we can't do this. It's too much." But you can create a system. So, first, I would start by thinking about where in your case management system or your CRM, whatever platforms you use, where you can keep notes for people to use towards gifting, because it doesn't happen very naturally. Like what I just described, that's because I'm a gifting nerd and I really care about this stuff, and it just like lights me up and I think of this stuff all the time. Not everyone is a nerd like me who thinks about gifting for relationships. And so it doesn't happen naturally. And so my suggestion first is to think about where in your case management system or your CRM where you can have a section for your staff to fill out with information like this. There is a friend of mine, Cassidy Lewis. She's the chief marketing officer for Cooper Hurley out in Virginia. And she does gifting within her law firm exceptionally well. And when I met with her last month, she said, "Well, in our system, we have a section that says Golden Nugget." And the people in her office will fill out the Golden Nugget section to put information that will help other people in the law firm think of ways to gift, ways to create a relationship with their clients. And that's how she does it and the term that she uses. And I love that. It's so simple. Please add a golden nugget into the case management system so we can help gifting within the law firm. And when you make it a part of your case management system, everyone in the office can do this. Think about intake. If intake answers a call and one of your new clients says, "Hey, can we take this call in 30 minutes? I'm about to drop off little Kevin over at soccer practice right now, and I'm not able to talk." Oh, okay, great. Now intake can add that little golden nugget. Client has a son named Kevin. He plays soccer, and that's something intake can do. Maybe you have someone in your accounting department who's talking to your client and you do, let's say, personal injury law. And the client says, "Okay, accounting, when it comes to my settlement disbursement, um, you can do a ACH payment. I don't want to do a check. I want to get the money faster because we have plans to go to Disneyland next month and I want to buy all of our tickets." Great. Now accounting has that information and can say, "Okay, client is going to Disneyland next month." Then maybe someone in the office can say, "Okay, we are going to go order this client some custom Disney shirts or hats or mugs or something like that. And you can use that piece of information to think about gifting. And when you do that, now you're allowing everyone in the office to participate, from intake to your litigation teams to accounting and everyone in between. It can be a team sport, as I like to say. And when you do that, you're becoming much more efficient. And I promise you that the people in your office will start to feel more connected to your clients, and they'll start to feel happier and proud of what it is that you do and the people that you help. And it creates this better relationship between your clients and the people within your firm, which I think is really beautiful, because that kind of a connection can create referral relationship for years to come and help with morale in the office and your work culture and all of those things, which is beautiful to see.
Admittedly, Delisi, I am not like that as far as gifting goes. I'm the one telling my siblings, can we please stop getting gifts for each other? I don't know what else to get you guys. I hate that, like, it's Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all this stuff. I'm just like, I don't know what to get. And so I don't think my mind naturally would go there. If I'm working at a law firm and I'm, you're talking about getting all this information and go and thinking about these little nuggets and all that stuff. How can people shift their mindset to away from, an old curmudgeon like me to somebody who's going to like really think about those gifts and listen and all of that stuff?
You know what I would encourage? 'Cause that's a great question. You're right. Not everyone thinks like that. And if you could use this as an opportunity to get your team to talk to each other, maybe, once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, you all get together and say, okay, guys, let's talk a little bit about the gifting that we did this month. Kevin, you had a great example with your client, Susan. Can you share what it was? Um, James, you had a great example with your client, Maria, and her family. Can you share what it was? And now that's helping for a few reasons. One, because other people in the office can get ideas. You don't
Mm,
have to recreate the wheel. You can just share what you're doing amongst the team. Two, it's helping everyone feel bought in to what it is that you're doing. And three, it's creating that team that you want, the group of people in your office who are working together to provide an excellent experience for your clients. And I love that communication, because then no one feels like they're on this island over here where they have no idea what to do. You might find out, holy moly, Kevin over here in accounting is the best giver of all. And if anyone has an idea that they're not sure what to do with and they need extra help, they can just go talk to Kevin in accounting, because he can do this in his sleep. And you might identify those people who do this exceptionally well and would just light up if other people in the office reached out and said, hey, I don't know what to do. Here's my golden nugget. What do you got? And they
mhm.
can share the ideas. And now you're creating these bonds among the people in your office and with your clients.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is a good idea. Although Kevin would not be good at accounting or gift giving, so maybe I'm not the best example, but no, that does make sense. I mean, it is a mindset shift, and it is just like you're right. Like being around other people doing it, talking to people, and all that can kind of like get you excited about it or get the wheels turning and make you pay more attention. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That Kintsugi bowl idea, I didn't come up with it on my own. I came up with that when I was at How to Manage a Small Law Firm, and we did that. And then I used that example over and over again. You don't have to recreate the wheel. If it's working, do it
Yeah.
again and again.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. Well, makes sense to me. All right. Well, thanks for listening to today's episode of From Coffee to Cases. Gifts don't have to be reliant on one person in a law firm. Empowering your team will help you scale this marketing strategy, remove you from being a bottleneck, and create a more engaged and empowered team. If you'd like more ideas for building referral relationships, head to firstcallfriday.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a review if you found today's episode helpful. Delisi, always great chatting with you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast. And please share this episode with a peer who can also benefit from case referrals. For more information or to connect with me, Delisi Friday. Visit firstcallfriday.com.